Oh, oh, ooh, oh, oh, ooh, oh, oh, oh. Yeah, like the fuck, I got a fucking problem. And yeah, like the fuck, I got a fucking problem, Joe. Yeah, it was your neighborhood hero Quack, and I just left a message on Facebook explaining to the people who actually pays me attention a little bit, or at that particular time, whoever read it at that particular time, to understand that this is not a publicity like for me to gain. Of course, it's for me to gain popularity, but genuine, like for you to respect the artist, the person who saw me, not Quack as much, but also to respect Quack as the artist, but who saw him. Um, yeah, so just waiting, man. It's Monday. I know Vlad got paid today, and so just waiting, man. You know, I gotta get this shit cut, man. But yeah, like the fuck, I got a fucking problem. You know how much I haven't had sex? It's been about 3 months since I got it in with a pretty young thing, you know, and that's because I had to cut off every possibility of anything that could be instrumental to my demise, you know. So I just don't do it. And honestly, you know, let me just break down the process, the years, because I wrote a very, very passionate message on my wall, hoping that when people see it, they recognize that this is not just promotion. This is not a sob story. This is not none of that stuff. It's just really what I am at this particular moment. And so what I did was I explained that I've been chasing this for about 10 years. I dropped out of college because of it. You know what I'm saying? And I really mean what I say, man. Like I really spend time on the art, and when you spend time on the art and you gain, and then you lose, and then you lose bad, like you don't lose. Like let me talk about this is part one of how do I get a record deal, like the summation of this whole series and everything. I'm not saying I'm gonna end it. I'm gonna end it when I see the papers and the papers in front of me, and then you see me and I'm reading the contract to you, showing you. But this is just a summation of the trials and tribulations. This is part one of trials and tribulations. Okay, I dropped out of Five Towns College. Not only I dropped out, I got kicked out of Five Towns College. But I end up like before I got kicked out, my mind was like, you know, I'm not gonna do college no more. This is not helping me get a record deal. This is what I want to be. It's helping me get into business and work as a business person. You know, for a label. If I would have stayed and got the credits, I would have been interning. Um, Shout out to Bianca for her helping me intern for that day, and I just couldn't return because I'm not an intern, I'm an artist. So you know, I thought the shortcuts would be the easy way out. Like as long as I'm intern, I could get in contact with the people who works for the label, and they'll like and they'll listen to my talent, and they'll think it's tight and this, and then it's not like that. So I learned that from interning one day at Universal. Bianca got me in, and I was hoping to display my music. She tried, but she only had limited amount of power at that particular time. I don't know where she's at right now. She's been there for over 10 years. I don't even know if she works there still. I don't know. But she did help me understand that, you know, that shortcut wasn't going to work. So then I just kept on progressing, kept on going. And I got into a relationship with my first official real relationship with Brandy Tuck. And I displayed my music, you know, as I usually do, to see how the response would be. And she really took a liking to it. So much that she went out her own free will to, she used to work at Norfolk Bank. And she knew a way, and this is the part that, you know, I was supposed to keep, but this is a part of the story. You know, I'm not trying to discredit or incriminate her by any means. It's just that I'm telling the story for what it is. And she went inside. She knew how to get inside people's accounts and all that stuff. She never stole anything. I don't, you know, but she couldn't. But she knew who was controlling whose account. So she found the person who was in control of 50's account, and that was around when 50 was on fire, 2003. So she found that account, and it was Bruce Seckendorf who was in charge of that account. She gave me the number. Me, I thought that, you know, by going through people from Five Towns got dropped out. Well, I got kicked out, and I, you know, I end up staying in contact with a couple of people from Five Towns. They was like, "Yo, Quack, there's this lawyer who's an entertaining lawyer. He can get you in." So that was Arvin who told me that. So he gave me the lawyer's name and where he was, and it. I had to pay $275. This is another shortcut that I use. $275 to get for him to hear my music to see if it's any good. And he gave me the option. First, I went to Manhattan. I went up to this, like the 25th floor where his office was. I walked in and I see a small ass office. So I'm like, this is bullshit, man. I thought this floor would be his, but this is bullshit. So I was like, oh man. So I went and came inside. He said, would you like me to listen to it at my own time and then give you a response, or would you like to pay for me to listen to it and I can respond right now? I said, of course, I'll pay. So he said $275 to listen to my demo. So I paid $275 to make him listen to my demo. As he was listening to my demo, he liked the first track. He thought the second track, which was Pregnant Booty, and listen to this, Pregnant Booty. First track was Our Business. And the third track was, I believe it was When the Love Is Gone. So I did that. And he said, yeah, you know, I actually am an entertainment lawyer for, let me put this battery on, my battery fucking up. Entertainment lawyer for, you know, these guys. And he showed me a picture of a guy who was like an and one ball player. And I was like, this can't be serious. And then he's told me about he's the entertainment lawyer for like Bougie Bonton or something. And I was like, oh, come on, man. This guy can't get me shit. So I went back, paid $275 for nothing. And I just said, man, I know that my talent is good enough. You know, I know that my talent should get me put on. You know, I know that I worked and invested enough time into making sure that I'm original, I'm lyrical, I'm creative. I don't sound like no one. My music don't sound like no one. But it's still marketable. It's still radio friendly. It still could be liked by the consumer. It's still quality. So, you know, I end up having that phone number, Bruce Seckendorf. His phone number, the person who handles his money, and then she gave me the person who handles Kanye's money also. So I called the first number that was on the sheet of paper. It was a yellow sheet of paper. It was like little pads. So I called that, and then I end up speaking. I said, "Can I speak to Bruce?" So somebody put me to Bruce, and he said, "Yeah, what's up, man?" He's like, "Yeah, I would like to schedule an appointment for me to meet you and everything." He said, "Oh, okay, yeah, yeah, yeah. How did you hear about me?" I said, "My girlfriend. She gave me your number and all that stuff." So he was like, "Oh, okay, yeah, come through Monday." So I end up going there, and this is like a month after I got the number, and this is like a month after I came from the lawyer. Like I was at my tail end. But before that, I forgot about this. That's when I met Pharrell. Um, it was when did Kingdom come out? I think it was 2006. Uh, no, this was after that. Yeah, that was after. That was after I met Bruce and all that. So I went up there with my father because I didn't have a car. I believe. Or did I have a car? Yeah, I did have a car. I had a car, but and I went up there with my father, because he was acting as my manager and all that stuff. So I went up there as him as my acting manager, and he wasn't very active as being a manager. He just wanted the title, I guess. I don't know. So anyway, went up there, met Bruce. Bruce was a stocky white guy, Jewish guy, and then as soon as I walk in, um, his he he had like a whole floor to himself. Like, so we walked, and I see, and we walked in. We run into the receptionist. The receptionist calls Bruce. Bruce calls us in the office. So we walking past, and this is a whole floor of offices. So I walk into his office, and then I look to my right, and I see "Get Rich or Die Trying," the plaques. Then I look, no, I look straight. I saw "Get Rich or Die Trying." Then I look to my right. I saw Eminem's D12, the first album that they came out with. And then I saw Marshall Mathers LP also, and I saw all the plaques and how much it sold. And I was like, man, this is for real. And the office was huge, right? So I'm sitting down with him, and then I told him, I'm an artist. I think he thought I was looking for him to be my accountant. So I was telling him I'm an artist, and I just want to find the opportunity where, and he's like, yeah, I mean, I can look out for you, man. All I can do is just present the music. I don't know what they're gonna say, but I'm gonna let you know what they say. If they say it's trash, it's trash. If they say it's good, it's good. If it goes, that's how it happens. So I was like, yo, cool. So I gave him my CD. He said, how many songs you got on here? I said, I have 8. So he was like, nah, don't give me 8 songs. Give me a demo. Give me 2 songs. No, 3 songs. I said, all right. So I said, I'm going to be back tomorrow, and it was a good vibe and everything. I was like, man, this guy's really cool. So I'm thinking, man, Get Rich or Die Trying plaque, Eminem, Marshall Mathers LP, and I'm seeing all that. And I walk out, and I'm feeling good. So I'm like, tomorrow, yeah, at that time, my car was a hoopty, so it was out of commission at that time. So that's why I bought my father. But the next day, being that my father saw it and he saw how real it was, he let me borrow the car the next day to drop off my demo. So I go there the next day. I ask for Bruce again, and then I tell him it's me, and then he's like, okay. So I walk to the receptionist. Yeah, I said that already. Walk to the receptionist. The receptionist point me to Bruce. He said, come back. I come back. He was like, yeah, who are you? I was like, I'm qwaack. Um, I'm the guy who was supposed to drop off this demo. I was like, what? Drop off a demo? I was like, yeah. You told me yesterday that I was supposed to drop off a demo. I was like, did you come with your father? I was like, yeah. Oh, hey, man. Yeah, yeah, yeah. So I was like, oh, God. This guy is not going to fucking remember to do anything for me. So I went and I left, and my heart was broken because I was like, man, this shortcut is not going to work. You know what I'm saying? So About a week later, I called his number and I said, "Yo, Bruce, this is Quack." He's like, "Oh, hey, what's up, man? Yeah, Shy Money's supposed to be coming this Friday, and I'm gonna let him check out your music and this, that, the other, and see what happens." I was like, "All right, Shy Money, man, this Friday." So I end up waiting Friday, and I was like, "Okay, you know, I don't want to call on Friday and bug him. I'll call on Monday." So I called on Monday, and then he's like, "Hey, what's up, man? Shy Money's supposed to be coming this Friday." So I was like, "Oh no, not this shit, man." So I said, "You told me Shy Money was coming last Friday." He's like, "Oh yeah, he had to reschedule. He's coming this Friday, but for sure, Quack, I'm gonna play your music for him and let him decide if he likes it. I'll let you know." All right. So I was like, "All right, cool." I felt like I was kind of harassing him, right? So he was like, "Yeah." So then that Friday comes. I wait not Monday, but the following Monday, not the following Monday after, but 2 Mondays after. I waited and I called and I said, "Yo, did Sean Money hear my demo?" "Nah, yeah, oh yeah, 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 he's coming this Friday." So I was like, "Oh God, this guy's getting me to run around." He's like, "But don't worry about that, man. I got this dude. He's coming in today. Um, I think it was who was it at that time? It was somebody else. I forgot who." But he's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna definitely play your songs, and I'm gonna definitely don't worry about it, Quack. I'm not trying to play you. I'm not trying to do you." I'm like, "All right, man." So I waited a month, and then I hit him up and I said, "Yo, Bruce, this is Quack." He's like, "Yeah, what's up, man? Yeah, Shy Money's supposed to be coming this Friday." So I was like, "Oh man, this guy's bullshitting, right?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm definitely gonna play your music." So I'm like, "All right, this guy, all right." So I just didn't call. 2 weeks later, I get a phone call at my father's house. I was living with Brandy at the time. My father calls me. He says, "Yo, Hussam, some guy, Bruce called, and he said some guy named 88 Keys is interested in working with you." So I was like, "Really?" He's like, "Yeah, I got the answer machine. I got the the machine answered it. So, you know, and 88 Keys called right after. You need to come over here." So I went over there. I'm hearing the answer machine. No one was there as I called. He called me from work. No one was there when I went to the house. So I walked in and I listened. Except my brother. And then I'm listening to the answer machine. Bruce is like, "Yo, Quack, man, got some great news for you, man. Yo, there's this kid named 88 Keys, man. He gonna get you signed, man. You know what I'm saying? He's gonna get you that deal that you've been looking for, man. Yo, you the only person out of all the demos that I received that actually got this far, man. I believe in you, man. You gonna do it, man. This kid's gonna get you signed, man. 88 Keys. Look out for him because he's gonna call you." So I said, "All right, I'm listening." I'm like, "Man." And then the next following answer machine thing, the message from the answer machine was 88 Keys. He's like, "Yo, yo, yo. I called for a qwaack, yeah, quake, or something like that. Yo, man, I heard your demo, man. I'm digging it, man. Yo, I really want to meet you and all that stuff." So I'm like, "What? 88 Keys?" I'm trying to figure out who 88 Keys was because I'm thinking Alicia Keys. I'm thinking 88 Keys is Crucial Keys, right? So I'm like, man, I'm trying to find my research. At that time, I ain't know nothing about the internet or nothing like that. And the internet was like on and going. But I ain't know because I was an outside kid. I didn't go and stay inside and clickety click and do that stuff. I ain't know nothing about Facebook. I knew about MySpace, but that was the only internet thing that I knew, and that's the only reason why I went to the internet. Um, MySpace and porn. But anyway, the whole thing, I went and then I met 88 Keys. Oh no, I drove back home. I told Brandy about it. She's like, "Really?" I was like, "It's because of you, because you got me put on to Bruce, man. If I never met you, I wouldn't have met Bruce." She's like, "Nah, it's not me, because if you didn't have the talent, you wouldn't have got that far." So I was like, "Man, you're right," but that just made a instant loyalty towards her in the relationship because she was the only one at that particular time who believed enough to take the risk at work to jeopardize her job just to make sure that I got the opportunity to be heard because she believed in the product that she heard. And so she was shocked. She was like, man, this is really going to happen. And so I called 88 Keys. He gave me his number. I called him and I put him on speaker so Brandy could hear. And he was like, yeah, yo, Quack, man, I heard your demo. Yo, that shit is fucking crazy, yo. At first, I was like, what the fuck is this? Because I put in Fluent from Duckburg again, Pregnant Booty, and Lust, right? And he was like, yo, the first two tracks, when I first heard the first track, I was like, yo, this can't be serious. But then I was listening to your flow. I was like, yo, this kid is crazy. So the second track came, and I was like, is this kid consistent? And then you was consistent. Then the third track, it was dope. I ain't really like that one too much. But the first two tracks was crazy. I don't like the beats on none of them. And that's where I come in. I'm a producer, you know. Do you know about me? I was like, nah, what you work with, Alicia Keys or something? He's like, nah, I work with the likes of Mos Def, you know, Beanie Siegel, you know, and right now, you know, I just want to meet you, man, you know, yo, where you from? I said, I'm from Long Island. He's like, oh, okay, well, I live in Long Island, and, you can meet me at, you know, the Roosevelt Field Mall, so I went out there, borrowed my little brother's car because my car was out of commission. My father wasn't around, and so I borrowed his car and went to meet him. And I picked up Arvin, and Arvin went with me, and we went to meet him. And then he was driving a black Cougar. So the first thing I saw was his car was cheap. I was like, oh man, this shit. So, you know, when you a baby in the game and all that stuff, you don't understand that this is their only resources of income, you know. So he was going on a down spot, but it doesn't mean that he doesn't have the connections that he has. So that's the thing that I didn't know about. I just looked at the book, the cover, and I was like, man, this guy ain't got no. I was expecting him to have a Range Rover or something. He's driving a Cougar. So I was like, oh man. So I get out. I'm feeling bad already. I'm like, man, this guy, Mos Def was signed to Ruckus at the time, slash Geffen. And I'm like, I don't want to be a raucous artist. Listen to how I'm saying this. I don't want to be a raucous artist. I'm not a raucous artist. I'm not Talib Kweli. I'm not, you know, Mos Def. I'm not Foul Munch. I'm not, you know, I'm Quack. I'm Kanye. I'm Jay-Z. I'm Lil Wayne. Well, Lil Wayne wasn't. I'm 50 Cent. You know, I'm that. You know, so I'm listening to his beats, and his beats is very sample heavy. I didn't like none of the beats. He played me like 30 beats back to back to back, and he had like 800 in the stash. And I was lying to him saying, yeah, I would kill that beat or I would kill this beat. And I was lying. I didn't like none of it. And because I was so prone to making, like, going to Five Towns, everybody sampled. And there's very, very few people who had original tracks and they were good. And I was one of them. My man Woody, he was also good at original tracks. Elijah was also good at original tracks. The thing with Woody, he had that analog sound where me and Elijah lacked. We had the bad, poor mix sound, but he was actually good at making original tracks, you know. And same with, you know, myself. I was great at making original tracks to make it sound where it competes. But everybody in Five Towns sampled. Everybody took the easy way out, and everybody was copying that whole, you know, Just Blaze move. So, you know, people would be like, oh, his beat is hot, but I'd be like, yo, it's a sample. He ain't really do shit. You know, or her beat is hot, or it's a sample. He ain't really do shit. The bass line don't even match the fucking sample. This person don't know what he's doing. He's mediocre. I remember I used to get into a lot of arguments with Hassan Chop. Hassan Chop at the time, his name is Hassan, is insane right now, but I used to be like, yo, I challenge you, son. Like, I guarantee you I'm going to win. We should do a beat battle. you know, and I will beat your ass, you fucking whack, because he didn't marry at that time. He might have been like 3 years in or 2 years in. He didn't marry his bass line, and I knew he was amateur, so I was kind of bullying him. Where I had like 8 years in of making original tracks, you know. So when I was listening to 88 Keys, I was like, here we go with another Hassan chop. I'm not this type of rapper, so automatically I dislike the music. So we go to his mom's house. I meet his mother. It's somewhere in Hempstead, I want to say, right? And damn, this is almost 30 minutes. Um, I'm gonna end this with after the 88 Keys story. Um, we go to his mom's house, and his mom says, "Oh, he was introducing me to his moms and his father. He's like, you're the next one. You're the next one. I mean, Kanye's been down here. Mos Def been down here. This one's been down here. You're the next one." So we go downstairs, and I see his room, and it's in the basement. And I see that he got something like this. It wasn't that, but it was something like that. He had MP, and he had like a screen, and he had a piano like this. I think he had the same exact piano. So he was like, "Yo, Quack, I'm gonna make you a beat right now." So me and Arvin sitting, and then I'm looking down on the floor, and I see Kanye's address, right? Some real shit. I see an envelope with Kanye's address. I'm looking down, and I'm like, shit, how the fuck can I take this address without him noticing? So I'm trying to memorize his address as I'm looking down at the envelope. And I can't see that far, but I have my glasses on. So I was like, man. So I'm looking, and then I'm seeing him nod his head like this. He's like, bow. And you see him, bow, hitting that, bow. So I'm like, bow. So I'm looking like, and as you hear through the headphones, he has the headphones on because he's not letting me hear it. I guess he was trying to surprise me. So he has the headphones on, and he's, bow, his head, right, and he's hitting that snare, right. And you see him, like, and then I'm listening. I'm like, and you imagining the beat because all you hear is. I'm like, man, this shit gonna be bad, nigga. So me and Arvin sitting there, and his room was messy as shit. He had a bunch of records, and his room was messy as shit. You know what I'm saying? He had clothes all over the floor. He had a child at that time, and he had baby mama issues. I don't know if that's his kid, but at that time he had baby mama issues and all that stuff. And he was telling me like, yo, I was once driving a Range Rover. I once had a condo, but then I was averaging like 150 a year. And that was my good year, but then when it goes down and people not checking for your beats no more, it goes down. So that's where I'm at right now. But I believe I'm gonna take Ludacris' spot. So I'm like, okay. I wasn't really aiming at Ludacris, but that's someone who I did respect. And I did enjoy his music and all that stuff. So he takes off the headphones, right? He's like, yo, Quack. 30 minutes later, after making the beat, right? I'm seeing this. You know what I'm saying? I'm seeing him do like this. This was like from behind. I'm sitting back there. So I'm just looking at his head like this. So I'm seeing the back of his head. And I'm hearing it. And so I'm like, yo, I'm going to kill this shit, man. Because I want him to know that I'm a killer, right? So he puts the beat onto speakers, and the beat was very Wu-Tang sounding. The song 1988 is that whole situation that happened. The second verse. So when y'all hear 1988 in the future, that beat was the beat that he played. That second verse was dedicated to him. So anyway, it was actually named 1980, but I switched it to 1988 because 88 Keys, 1980, the sound of the music was like the old school 1980 disco type sound that I'm using, whatever. So That's why I named it 1980. But it was an original track, and it was a not a diss, but it was bringing awareness to stop using so much sample, stop depending on a sample to make your beats hot. Make something original, you know, at the same time. Don't be closed minded just to samples. So, anyway, 30 minutes. Oh, shit. I'm going to wrap this up. So, as he played it, me and Arvin looked at each other. We like, oh, yeah. So, we nod our head, act like it's hot because, you know, we don't have no deal or whatever. So, we go upstairs. Boom. And I was like, yo, you're not going to ask me to rap for you? He's like, oh, yeah, yo, can I tape it? So I was like, yeah. He goes downstairs, brings like a little tape recorder like this big. And he press play. He's like, yo, this is 88 keys. Man, qwaack. You know, that's it. And then I did a freestyle for him. I did punch rhyme. And then I did my second freestyle. He said, yo, rap on the beat that I just made. So I put on that beat and I rapped on it. And I did the second verse to turn the knob. What is turn the knob? And then he was like, yo, that's my man qwaack. And I said, I'm in your top 5 already, nigga. And this, that, the other talking shit. And I smacked my glasses off by accident. He's like, yo, this shit is so hot, his glasses came off, nigga. You know, he clowning me and shit. So I was like, yeah, you know, I was trying to get some air because it's rapping down, sitting down is hard for me, you know. I have to stand up and rap, but, you know, I was a little nervous, and that's the end of that story. Tune in tomorrow for part 2 of the trials and tribulations of qwaack, aka I'm in your top 4 already. All right, peace. Oh, wait a minute. Me and Arvin left. He taped it. He put it on YouTube. I'll continue it tomorrow. Peace.